Your soul weighs 21 grams. Everybody that dies worldwide loses an average of 21 grams of weight. And there's no explanation. So the only explanation is that's the weight of the soul. So the soul goes on. The second you die, you get a new body. Believe me. It doesn't end. And there is no heaven and hell, up or down. It's not a guy with a pitchfork waiting for you. We create our heaven or our hell here on earth at this time that we live. And we are responsible.
Welcome everyone to Prove to Me That You're Alive. Today we have, I don't know if we can call this man we should say half man, half amazing. He's possibly from out of space. I don't know. We're still going to have to disprove that. 8 doctoral degrees, 14 best-selling books, over 35,000 patients cured, over 66,000 cancer patients, over 8 million seminar attendees, over 7 million readers and counting. He wrote his first book, check this, at the age of 14. Now, this is really serious. Has the highest cancer cure rate in the world, the highest paid motivational speaker, the highest paid personal development trainer. Now, Doc, this is your fault for having all of these accolades. I have to keep going. The highest paid coach for some of the largest companies in the world. He worked with kings and queens and CEOs and movie stars and top athletes. Has invented his own revolutionary science. It's called instinct-based medicine system. He's been on stage for over 40 years in front of people since 14 years old. His first radio show, he was 16. His first newspaper column, he was 18. With a radio show and newspapers going all around the world. I have none other with me, half man, half amazing, Dr. Coldwell.
You are funny. Nas, my friend, thank you so much for your invitation. I'm getting such a kick out of you because you're so alive and such a nice person. And of course, I will do everything to support you, whatever I can do.
Thank you so much, Dr. Coldwell. If you don't mind, I have my own testimony of how I found you. I will make it very short and very quick, if you don't mind. But I think this is important for the conversation, because the way I found you is through a real life experience. And if you don't mind, can I share it, please?
Sure.
So in 2015, my estranged father was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Now, me knowing the world and studying the world, I knew that the Western medicine medical system has failed people. But I agreed to come and help him out. And before I came, he already went through the biopsy. He took a biopsy. So obviously the biopsy came back cancer. So when we went to the doctor for the first time with him, to the oncologist is telling us, look, we have hormonal treatment already. We have the shots. He should start taking the shots. So I asked the doctor, because imagine I'm taking a responsibility for someone's life. I asked the doctor, do we have 2 weeks that I can look at this and do more research? The doctor says, sure, you have 2 weeks. So we go back home. I start going crazy, spending night and day researching, and I find Dr. Coldwell. So Dr. Coldwell, and for everyone listening, my father's cancer cell growth was this big when we started, right? We started doing everything that Dr. Coldwell subscribed and advised and everything. And in 2 weeks, we go back to the same doctor. We do the x-ray again. The cancer cell growth went from this to this to this to like tiny like this. And I seen it with my own eyes. So this is a testimony. Dr. Coldwell, could you please, in short, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? What was your childhood like, possibly, and how did you get interested in this subject?
I'm originally from Germany, and it started out with the words, "You have 6 months to live." These words were said to my mom with hepatitis C, liver cirrhosis, liver cancer in a terminal state, and hepatitis C. All 7 siblings of my mom died of cancer. All 4 grandparents of mine died of cancer. My father died of cancer. My stepfather died of cancer. My sister had cervical cancer, which I cured in 72 hours. And that's 40 years ago, so she's still absolutely healthy and fine. And my mom had, when I was around 12, these 6 months to live. So I asked every doctor, what can I do? What can be done? And they said nothing, and nobody ever has been cured from liver cancer or even made better from liver cancer in a terminal state. There is nothing you can do. She needs to learn to live with the pain and should enjoy the last couple of months she still has left. That basically, I'm a born rebel. Somebody says that doesn't work, that's impossible, that cannot be done. That really wakes me up, because in martial arts, I was 36 years in martial arts, full contact, 9 years world champion in a row. And my friends in martial arts called me the sleeping tiger, meaning leave him alone. Just, he's a nice guy. He doesn't want
Don't
to.
wake him up.
Don't wake him up. Don't piss him off. So basically, that's kind of like how I started traveling the entire world. I had a full degree in traditional Chinese medicine with the age of 16. I traveled with gypsies. I lived with a medicine man in Nigeria and Africa for 4 months. I learned every alternative you can even come up with. I became a licensed hypnotherapist, but stay away from hypnotism. I became a licensed hypnotherapist with the age of 16, 17, somewhere in this range. And I already had an office and were curing cancer patients from the neighborhood. When I was 16, my mom had a beer pub in front with my dad. And at the back, I was working with cancer patients from the neighborhood. Because they are started to see my mom, when you have liver cancer, you really have really dark black rings underneath your eyes. You blow up, your stomach sticks out. So everybody knows you have a huge problem. And everybody knew my mom was dying. And all of a sudden she got better. So everybody says, what in the world did you do? And then they said, can your son do to my mom, to my dad, or to my children, or to my grandparents what he did with you? So, and of course I did. And of course I did it for free. It's just a given. But when it was the age of 18, they wanted to arrest me with practicing medicine without a license. And the interesting thing was they found nobody that was testifying. They couldn't find one single person testifying against me. And so they couldn't do anything to me, but it was a wake-up call, and I thought, okay, I need to do something. And I started to get any form of degree I could. I learned acupuncture, acupressure. I learned herbology. I had everything about herbs, everything about natural healing, and so on. And ended up at the end of the day being a naturopathic medical doctor. And I had a medical license actually till 2016. And just it became too restrictive, so I gave back my medical license, but I still have 6 different medical related degrees. The thing is, I lived with the Nemenha tribe in Silver Mountain. I learned from the medicine men there, from the Native American Indians, and I traveled with gypsies an entire summer to learn about their healing techniques. And it's kind of like everything everybody believes always when I said I was 12 years old and my mom had 6 months to live. So then now everybody thinks automatically, oh, he cured his mom in 6 months. No, he didn't. Every little thing I tried, everything I learned, I read 800 medical, naturopathic or natural health-related books with the age of 14. And everything I learned, everything I read, everything I heard I tried with my mom. So that kept her going. So that I could try the next thing. And she lived another month and another year and another year. And she was completely cured when I was about 22, 24, in that range. And lived after, she lived after the diagnosis of having 6 months to live another 48 years, completely healthy, with no problems. My mom just died last year, but of old age. And that was not surprising. It's not a sad thing. She accepted it, and she said, I had a fulfilled, wonderful life thanks to my son. And I also want to explain to people, I made a deal with God when I was 14. I said, God, if you help me to cure my mom, I didn't say, God, help me. I didn't say, God, cure my mom. I said, God, if you help me to cure my mother, I will spend the rest of my life to help other children and their parents, not to have to go through what my mom and I had to go through. And this is what I felt fulfill. I'm 66 years old today, and my books are up into 29 different languages, and I have my own TV shows, radio shows, and so basically everything I do is for free. It's not like I don't have anything to sell. I don't have a book to sell for you. You can buy my books from some publishers or from wherever books are sold, but I don't have anything to sell. I do not make money on health-related issues. I make a lot of money on my motivational seminars and personal development training and consulting, coaching worldwide. And I coached Princess Diana back then, and a lot of very, very famous presidents that I, for legal reasons, cannot name, but most people
Sure,
know.
sure. Okay.
But the thing just really is, for me, I figured out that everything out there when I went through medical school is all BS. They don't have solutions. All they do is suppress symptoms with chemicals or surgery or dangerous treatments like radiation. Chemotherapy, for example, is mustard gas. Mustard gas is forbidden under the Geneva Convention as a war chemical. That's what they put into the bloodstream of people. So their approach is we kill everything and hope only the good stuff comes back. It's like if you have some weeds in your backyard, you kill your flowers, your hedges, your trees, you kill the weeds, you kill everything. And then you hope only the good stuff comes back and the weed stays away. Guess what's coming back? The weeds. And that's the same as the approach with cancer. The medical profession has absolutely no cancer cure at all. No medical doctor ever cured a cancer patient. Ever. No medical doctor ever cured cancer. And the medical profession officially has a cancer cure rate of 1 to 3%. I have a proven cancer cure rate of 92.3%, which is actually higher. At the beginning of my career, I didn't know I cannot work with people that already had cancer, had already radiation, surgery, and chemotherapy. And that's when I lost patients. After I figured this out, I never lost a patient again. And basically, I cure patients and cancer patients in about 3 weeks. So it's easy. Cancer is only a symptom. Cancer is not an illness. It doesn't even exist as an illness. It's just a DNA damaged cell that builds daughter cells around herself to protect herself. But on the other hand, cancer is always stress related. Cancer is a product of mental and emotional stress, living in constant worries, doubts, fears, making compromises against yourself, staying in a job you can't handle, staying in a relationship you shouldn't handle. These are the causes of cancer. And after I figured this out, I developed the instinct-based medicine system, the science of identifying and eliminating the root cause of every negative result in a human being or in a human being's life. Because it's no difference if you have cancer in your wallet, cancer in your relationship, cancer in your self-esteem, cancer in your whatever part of life, or in your body, physical cancer, which is kind of like we all have about 8 to 10 times cancer in our lifetime. And since we don't know it, it just goes away. If we would go to an early detection or whatever at this moment in time, we would get treatment, scared into treatment, and we would have died. Basically, you die in about 2.5 to maximum 5 years when you get the full medical treatment. And so you should not ever do an early detection, in my opinion, because colonoscopy kills all the old people. The mammography causes breast cancer, 50 pounds of pressure on the most sensitive gland-loaded part of the female body. And all these kind of things, all x-rays, 2 mammographies causes a brain tumor or a tumor in the body. About 4 to 8 x-rays is causing cancer growth. The most unnecessary cancer is caused by dentists. It's thyroid cancer with all the unnecessary x-rays to make $20 or $50 on these stupid x-rays every single time. They are absolutely not necessary. There are reasons when they are necessary, but then you have pain, you have swelling, you have obviously symptoms, and then you might look into this. But every time when you get your teeth cleaned, get an x-ray for all your teeth, guarantees you cancer grows. It's only a matter of time. Brain cancer, thyroid cancer, glandular cancer is the easiest to induce by radiation. And of course, vaccine is causing a lot of cancer. But now the main thing is, but people need to understand, 86%, and this is a scientific fact, of all doctor visits and illness is stress related. 86%. So now look at the facts. Now it's 14% left for diet, for any form of
exercise or anything.
Whatever it might be. It's just 14%. And most of all, people with sports, there are more injuries in sports than anything else in the world. And bodybuilders die young. There is no such thing as a old giant, because they pump their blood into their muscles. The organs don't have the blood, and there you go. And I never understood this weirdness, but basically we all have to have mental health, and here is the main point of the IBMS system, the instinct-based medicine system. I help you to find out who you are, who you want to be, what you want to be, where you want to go, and how you can be the true you, the best you that's in you already. You cannot be turned into a champion. You are born as a champion. You have the most dangerous 9 months in a human's lives in your mom's womb already behind you. Mm-hmm. So you are born, you get attacked. First of all, the birth process is very, very dangerous. That you survive this is a miracle. Mm-hmm. Now you're getting attacked with billions of microbes, fungi and bacteria, whatever, and your little body doesn't even have an immune system. Please, guys, you need to know you don't have an immune system when you're born. Babies don't have an immune system. That's why vaccine is so absurd, it doesn't even get worse. And now your immune system says, oh, I was at Dr. C's seminar. I really kind of do not care about all these insults. And so I figured out, in working with 66,000 patients and over 8.8 million seminar attendees, that everybody said the same thing. I listened to my guts and it was fine. Or I didn't listen to my guts and everything went to hell.
Instinct.
And that's why I called my system instinct-based medicine system, because I believe our instinct is God talking to us. I believe our soul is the God part in us, and our body is kind of like that. I believe our body is just like a car. Mm-hmm. The driver is completely independent of the car. Mm-hmm. If the car gets rotten, you get a new one. And that same is with the body. If the unit doesn't work, the body is getting taken out of this world or out of this format and just gets a new one. Your soul weighs 21 grams. Everybody that dies worldwide. loses an average of 21 grams of weight. And there's no explanation. So the only explanation is that's the weight of the soul. So the soul goes on. The second you die, you get a new body. Believe me. It doesn't end. And there is no heaven and hell, up or down. It's not a guy with a pitchfork waiting for you. And so we create our heaven or our hell here on earth at this time that we live. And we are responsible. When my patients, when they don't know me, have never read a book. My book, The Only Cancer Patient Cure, is the most sold book of all times. I sold 900 million books.
Wow.
And so at this time when a year came out, it was even more sold than the Bible. And that never happens.
Never happens, yeah.
But you need to really understand, when the very first question I ask my cancer patient is, why did you give yourself cancer? And then they flip completely out. I mean, you cannot imagine what I have heard, and insults and everything. How dare you? And I would never give myself an illness. And are you crazy? And this kind of stuff. But interestingly enough, everybody after about 20 to 22 minutes tells me exactly why they have cancer.
The cause. Mm-hmm.
They all know, because subconsciously, instinctively, you know. And you even know what you should do. The problem really is, I mean, we all are humans. We do a lot of stuff we know we shouldn't do. But, we need to live too. Life needs to be fun. And so, by the way, fun is the cure. Enjoying your own life, having a lot of fun, having a lot of quality of life. That's basically what keeps you going. That's where your motivation is coming from. Your subconscious mind needs a reason to keep you going. And if you don't reward yourself, if you, for example, you see a cool T-shirt in a window somewhere, and you think, oh, it costs $78, that's too much for me. So now here you're telling you, oh, I'm not worth $78. I'm worthless.
Wow.
That's where the danger starts.
Wow.
Up to the age of 18, Harvard study, we all heard 184,000 times, no, you cannot do this, you're too small, you're too big, you're too dumb, you're too stupid, you're
not enough.
You're worthless. We are conditioned to believe we are worthless. Mm-hmm. See, I started out with my motivational seminars, and I said to everybody, guys, I'm here to tell you 184,000 in one time. Yes, you can do that. Wow. Of course you can do that. Wow. Of course you are somebody. Now, it's my very first book. I wrote it when I was 14. It came out when I was 17. It's called You're Born to Win. You're born to be a champion.
Wow.
And I was already convinced back then, humans are the greatest thing in the world. We are unbelievable. Every human being I ever got to know turned out to be a good person. Mm-hmm. I have never met anybody that started out and says, oh, I want to go in this world, I want to be destructive, I want to be mean, and I want to be evil, I want to be hated by everybody. No, it doesn't work that way. Wow. People are wonderful. People want to be do nice things, enjoy their life, and being left alone by the government. Mm-hmm. That's every bad thing starts with the government and government entity, actually, because there's no law in America to have to pay taxes. No, it's not. We do it because it scares the heck out of us. Everybody's afraid of the IRS. But if you really deep research it, there's no law that you have to. I mean, you better do.
Yeah.
In deep trouble. But see, these are all these things that come from the outside that are destructive and harmful in our life, like vaccination, like indoctrinations through schools. I mean, if a teacher would tell my boy or my girl, no, you're not a boy, you are the opposite, I would be in school about 5 minutes later and have an educational talk in my soundproof basement with that teacher.
Mhm.
And we just need to come back. Like, look at you. You have the guts to do a show like this. Uh, Listen, Naz, I have had 8 attempts in my life. I still have a bullet in my body. I had hundreds of death threats in my life. I'm the most blocked person on YouTube, the most blocked person on the internet.
They're
My,
scared of you. They're
oh,
scared of you, Doc.
yeah, terrified. I have a video out there called Every Cancer Can Be Cured in Weeks that has 1.8 billion views, but you cannot find it anywhere. And 10 years ago, you could go on YouTube, put my name, and hundreds of interviews came up and videos. Nothing comes up now.
Yes.
And there's alone 7,000 interviews I gave with other people on their shows, like with your show now, that are not available anymore. You cannot find them. And so I think these people are responsible for everybody that died, that could have lived, that could have gotten better, like your dad, and didn't. It's their fault because they suppressed the information, or that people get the information. For me, for example, I became famous by saying I opened up my first doctor's office, and I said, if you are not completely cured, not the remission and all this hocus pocus, if you're not completely cured, you don't pay a dime. If you're cured, please give us whatever you can. If you can't, we are fine too. And now medicine became a business. It's only a business. It's only about money. You go into a hospital and they charge you $5,000 for an X-ray of your finger or something like that. I mean, I make this up, but it's kind of like that absurd. Because I have seen people crying and saying, "Doc, can you help us? Here's the bill they sent me for just having my shoulder shake." And to me, that's not understandable, because I train IBMS coaches and therapists, people to do what I do. And my students do 13 sessions with their clients or patients. 13, that's it. There's no, so I don't want any dependence. I don't want people think they can only exist when we are there. This is all not what I stand for. I'm really, really against cults and stuff like that, because that takes away the power from the people. I want to give the power to the people. So they are charging $300 an hour. That's kind of like what a lawyer or so charges, but it's only one time. It's $3,900 one time. And if you don't have the result that you came for, you don't pay anything. So that's what I do. We give away so much. I have the Cancer Patient Advocate Foundation. I put 147 million into my foundation. We don't take outside donations, and distributed it to cancer patients that were in need, even of food sometimes, not just treatment. They had no food. We throw away every single day as much food just in America as the entire world would need to eat. So the main problem is this greed. And the other problem is there is no honor, dignity, and pride.
Exactly.
I recognized when you said, my friend, just yesterday, are we still on with our appointment? I'm thinking, okay, we are in America because I'm German and I'm Dr. C. And if I tell you I'm there at a certain time, at a certain moment, there can be a volcano eruption, an earthquake, or whatsoever, I will be there at the time we agreed to. And because our word is all we have. People just don't understand this. It's all you got is your name, is your word. And if you give your word, you better stick with it, or you're nothing. You're absolutely nothing. And this is kind of like where people really need to look into, who am I really? And then ask yourself, who do I want to be?
Mm.
Could I be, is my question to you. If you would find Aladdin's lamp and you had all these wishes, you had this super genie, but you don't even have 3 wishes, you have as many as you want. Okay, come on, write down. What do you want? What are you wishing for? Tell me what you want, and I know who you are. And then I help you to get there.
Wow.
Everybody can get whatever they want. I've been poor, so poor, we had days where we had nothing to eat. I'm from a refugee family with 7 children. My grandma arrived in Germany. We had absolutely nothing. We didn't know where to sleep or whatsoever. When I could afford a Coke, I stretched it for a week with water so that I had kind of like water that looked a little bit different than water. And so everybody can make it. You just have to believe in yourself, because the way you believe in yourself determines what you try. And if you say, and that's what I do in my seminars, in a seminar day of 8 hours or a weekend with 3 times 8 hours, people say a couple of thousand times, yes, I can.
Mhm.
Yes, I can do that. I am somebody. And so the head of the Charité in Germany, the largest, most famous hospital in the world, when he introduced me one day, he said two things. Dr. Coldwell is like an oyster. You love him or you hate him. There's nothing in the middle. And Dr. Coldwell is the only one that leaves you with more than you came with. When you get out of here, the success will grow and grow and grow, because he gave you yourself. And that was very, very interesting. And so we all have so much to give. You know, if you want a spouse in life, somebody, and you just have the chance to show the other person who you really are, you will get that person, believe me. Because everybody is special, everybody is wonderful, everybody is somebody. And you need to just learn to re-believe in yourself. Look at a little kid now. You say to a little kid, can you play a piano? The kid says, of course I can. And the kid says, what the heck is a piano? You know, but here you go. And this is what I need people to understand. Can you speak Russian? Of course you can. You haven't learned it yet, but of course you can if you want to. You can speak German. There is no limit until you say, no, sure, no, I don't want to do this. I can't do this. Or I believe I'm too stupid for that, which is kind of like the dumbest sentence you can ever
Mhm.
get out of your mouth.
That mechanism starts in your head. Dr. Coldwell, I wanted to say that I truly know, I don't believe, I know that you are heaven sent. And the book, The Only Answer to Cancer, I just ordered my second copy. It's a revolutionary book. I wanted to also mention that it's available in an audio book. If you are too lazy to read it, you can pop it in your ear. And I always tell these people, pop it in your ear, walk around. Dr. Colwell, I know you still have a little bit of time. Thank you so much for everything you shared. I wanted to ask you one question, and maybe it's a two-part question. Um, why are people so afraid to look at the other side of what we now call alternative medicine? When you try to explain to someone, look, the medical system is corrupt, and please come look this, why are people so afraid to look at the other side?
Now, people don't want to take responsibility. People don't want to be in any way, shape, or form being bothered to do something. They want to swallow a pill, so they ate until they are fat like a cow or a pig, and they weigh 500 pounds, and they want to swallow one single pill, and tomorrow morning they want to be 120 pounds. Everything else they don't accept. And that's where the problem starts. People don't want to say, of course I got lung cancer by smoking 200 cigarettes a day. No, they don't. Except they get paid for an advertisement on TV for saying that. But they don't. People don't believe on their greatness, but here's the true answer. We are conditioned to believe we can't. We are conditioned to believe we are worthless. We are conditioned to believe that we cannot achieve, do, be, become what we desire. And the direct opposite, that's, if you think about it, my book, You're Born to Win, or in English, I think they called it You're Born to Be a Champion, is out there for 50 years and still a mega bestseller in 29 languages worldwide.
Wow.
Because nobody ever tells people you are somebody. Of course you can do it. When people get out of my seminars, you know what happens? They greet everybody on the street. They tell every waiter or waitress how great they are. You know, when people leave my seminar in the breaks, I have directors of the maritime, of the main hotels chain we are always going into in Germany with my seminars. The director coming up and says, "What did you do to my employees? My waiters and waitresses, they're smiling all the time. They are happy all the time, and they get more tip than they get their salary. What did you do?" And I said, "Nothing. I just reminded them who they really are, that they are wonderful, beautiful. There's no such thing as an ugly person. You can be ugly behaving and you can become an a-hole, but that's your decision. That you're not born with, believe me." And so then it's jealousy and all these kind of things. No, we need to come back now to honor, dignity, pride, friendship, love. I'm not into the forgiving part. Don't misunderstand me. Somebody, I hate this stupid thing. Somebody kills your child or your wife or your husband. They say, "Oh, I forgive this person." Oh, no, run, I'm coming.
Yeah.
And I believe in getting even. An eye for an eye, or one eye, two eyes for both, for one eye, and all your teeth for one tooth. That's kind of like my division. So we need to learn to really, really believe that we are born for greatness. Every religious book in the world, doesn't matter what you believe, every religious book in the world says we are children of God. So you're a child of God. What the heck are you doing with that potential? People just don't get it. If a dog gets a baby, it's a dog. If a cat gets a baby, it's a cat. If a God gets a baby, it's a God. Okay, we are mini gods.
Exactly.
But still, in our own world, we are our own God. When I saw an exercise from Kurt Tepperwein, the greatest professor for hypnotherapy in the world, don't do hypnotism. It's a crime against humanity.
I agree.
But I saw him having somebody putting a cold dime on the hand and telling him it's a burning piece of coal, and he developed a burn blister for no reason. And Naz, that was the very first step when I said, wow, if something like this can happen just through the brain, and the brain can produce it, it can also get rid of it, meaning rid of the tumor, rid of the cancerous growth. That was the beginning of IBMS when I was 16 years old. And this is kind of like where we have the possibility to go back to ourselves and tell ourselves, I can do everything. And here's something that I only tell special people, and I want you to have this for your listeners. We all know the saying, the only way to freedom is having nothing left to lose. And the most dangerous man in the world is a person that has nothing to lose. And I thought, you have to lose everything or give it away first. And then you are free, and then you are powerful and dangerous. It's not true. In your mind, you have to be ready to be willing to lose everything for your dream, to make yourself come true, to make your dreams come true. This is the most powerful thing anybody in the world has ever figured out about the human life. And I just figured this out half a year ago.
Blew my mind.
And this is, my friend, 10 years ago, would you have thought you are on this kind of a show? 15 years ago, would you have thought that you will be the person that might save somebody's or some hundred or some thousand people's lives just by waking them up to the opportunity, just by opening up hope. That's the most important thing now. Hope. Giving people hope. Yes, my brother, you can do that. The most important sentence in the world. 96% of all people that commit suicide call or speak to somebody hoping that this person gives them some positive impact. And because they don't, or they say, it's never going to get better anyway. Yeah. And it all comes only from media brainwashing. The new school system, the media brainwashing, and I'm trying to do with my show, I'm going to also rebuild the IBMS Master Society for America, a club, self-help club that I have in Germany, 190,000 members, where we help each other, we support each other. Everybody can call everybody in the middle of the night, said, I'm stuck, it's raining, my tire is flat, I need help, and our people will come. And we're going to start in 2 months in America with the same thing. And it's a self-help education club. And because I'm seeing the world going down the tubes, I'm not just standing by. I'm not just, no, all these wonderful souls that I met in my life, I'm just standing by that they get killed, murdered, damaged. No, with me. I'm different, and I'm just on the way to create a system that can function in itself after people learned it and teach to their children, teach to their spouse, teach to whoever is important to them. And that's kind of like what I'm working on right now. I'm also going to send you, now I have your email address, I'm going to send you the, I can send you, if you send me your mailing address, I send you my new book, The Only Cancer Patient Cure, which is 15 years after The Only Answer to Cancer, and combines literally everything I learned in the last 55 years.
Wow.
And I want you to have that, and I want you to sign it for you.
Thank you so much.
So it is just, I need you to keep on going. I need you to keep on doing what you're doing. No matter what happens, no matter what they say, they don't know you. So that what they say doesn't matter. Who insults you? If somebody says to me, you're an idiot, I look at them and I say, do you have a scientific proof for this very, very interesting opinion? And you should see their faces. You know, they get pale, their eyes get cross-eyed, and no, just don't take it. If somebody gives somebody a present and the other one doesn't take it, who keeps the present? The guy with the present. So just don't take it. Never think about it. Never take it. So what? And first of all, how can somebody know who you are? Explain this to me. Somebody that is not your friend, somebody you didn't grow up with, somebody you don't talk to about your dreams, your worries, your doubts, your fears, your hopes and your visions and your future. Who knows who you are? Nobody, my friend. And since you are a child of God, there's no mess up, one way or the other. And I have heard it all. I've been thrown out of hospitals. I have been insulted on TV. I had 136 cured cancer patients there with a government file underneath their arm. And on live TV, and they didn't interview one of my cancer patients, nothing. They just said, you can't cure cancer, period. There's no cure for cancer. So what? I kept on going. I kept on ticking. And that's what we all need to do. And people like us, we need to stick together. I'm going to send you also an email for some things. We need to stick together. We need to support each other. I have 4 minutes left. Do you have questions somehow?
Thank you so much. I just wanted to say for everyone listening, the one thing that I've learned about Dr. Coldwell in the past 10 years that I have been aware of him, almost 10 years, is that everything he says is proven and can be proven. He's not one of these blah blah blah. Like I always tell people, I'm like, challenge me on it and I will show you that it's proven. Dr. Coldwell, I truly believe that you are heaven sent, a warrior from out of space, from somewhere. And but sincerely, I want to thank you on behalf of myself and on behalf of all the millions of people that you've touched, because you've touched me personally. And before we go, you've covered so much. You said so many wonderful things. And if people pay attention, this will revolutionize your life. But to kind of end this wonderful, life changing talk, what else would you like? What other message would you like to share with us?
That you can do and be and have whatever you want if you just believe in yourself and believe in that you can have it and that you can do it. If you believe you are wonderful, you're unique, you are special, and act that way. If you go through the room like you have a Superman cape waving behind you, if you look into the mirror and you look into the mirror and you say, wow, that's me. I am somebody. I can do that. And then sit down and write down what you want. I want you to have a wish list. If we ever meet in a seminar or whatever, I want you to have a dream list, a wish list, a vision list. I want you to tell me where you are in 20 years. I want you to tell me what you want people to say on your 90th birthday party, what a guy you have been, what a person you have been. Nothing is supposed to be by coincidence or accident. But you have to make the decisions. And what I want people to know is there's no such thing as an incurable disease. That's completely BS. That's just made up by the Rockefellers and the pharmaceutical industry. There is no such thing that's a problem that there's no solution for. My grandmother always said, God will not give you a cross to bear that's heavier than you can carry, but it will not be lighter either.
Wow.
So you can do it. And that's kind of like you are born to win. You are born to be a champion. So if you guys look at my website, drleonardcoldwell.com.
I will leave all the links, by the way, in the description. All the links.
Thank you, my friend. And if you want to do this again, let me know. And
I do want to do this again. Thank you so much.